welcome to the Sanctuary, a safe space to speak from the heart. My guest today is super talented photographer Malia Kong. Thank you for coming to the Sanctuary today. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. I'm like nervous. I've never been on a podcast before, but it's exciting.
You know what? I don't. Okay, so I understand nerves because, like, um, I love film, but just I don't like being in front of the camera. So I kind
That's
of
how I
get it.
feel. That's how I feel. Like you can listen to me and my annoying voice all day, but like when you have to look at me too, I'm like, "Oh," but it's okay.
No, no, no. But here's the thing, though. Actually, I'll just dive right into it. So you take people photos, but you also put yourself and in super vulnerable positions in front of the camera. Why do you do that?
Well, I just think it's like really empowering. Like I am who I am. That's what I like to do. I mean, everybody like I'm trying to find words for it. Sorry, you're gonna have to like edit a lot of this because I'm trying to find words. But the reason that I do it is just because that's what makes me feel comfortable. I think it feels natural to me, and I mean, I would never want to put somebody in a position where they're not comfortable either. So I mean, I kind of want to just give my clients like I kind of want to let them know that like I put myself in the same position. I get it, like, and I want them to feel empowered by it too. Hmm.
Yeah. So well, I wanted to start with that because most people that shoot photos, you rarely see them in front of the camera.
I
You know.
know. Yeah.
So did you which one came first? You in front of the camera or you shooting people? Which one came first?
I started with modeling. Basically, right when I was 18, one of the not great photographers of the area messaged me. I'm not going to name any names or anything,
Wait,
but
what do you mean by not great photographer? Sorry, like their pictures
basically,
weren't good or?
well, I'm not going to say that because the way people look at pictures, it's all based on interpretation. Anybody can see something nice, anybody can see something bad. People will see, oh, lack of skill. Some people will see lots of skill. Like, so that's all based on interpretation. So I'm not going to say that they're a bad photographer, but I am going to say that as my tastes have grown, they're definitely not mine. But I was basically approached by this photographer, and the reason that I say he was not great is because he really liked to target younger girls that were vulnerable and put in alone situations type deal. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, like nothing ever happened, and like he just had a name for himself, and I was too naive and wasn't aware of the scene to not be put in the position with him type deal.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's
I
how
see
I
what you mean.
started.
Yeah.
And then basically, like Facebook was around, there was all kinds of groups and stuff like that. So pictures get posted, and then you get approached by other photographers, and la di da di da. And basically, that's just how it went.
So do you, sorry your first experience was shitty, but did the
I
experiences
wouldn't say it
start?
was shitty though.
Oh, okay.
Like I
It was.
didn't have a bad experience. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't have a bad experience because there were times that it was uncomfortable, but I wasn't, I didn't know what to expect. So I thought it was like normal to feel uncomfortable, I
Oh,
guess.
okay. But like,
I guess.
in retrospect, knowing what you
Yeah.
know now, it wasn't the
Yeah.
best way to start, right?
Absolutely not. Yeah. No.
Exactly. So like moving forward, did you have better experiences with other photographers?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like as I got to, because I basically started shooting with him and like, I was just like 18. Like I didn't shoot any with anybody else. I didn't know any other photographers of the area. So like I just shot with him like all the time. But then as like I went into the group, started posting more, I met other photographers. I was like, oh wow, like this is like so much better. Like these people are so nice. Like they keep their distance. It's so professional. I was like, oh, this might be what it's supposed to be like. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's basically it.
And then when did you decide, oh, okay, I want to go behind the camera?
Probably like, well, I always like taking pictures. I know that's pretty cliche to say, but like always took pictures of everything, no matter what it was. Oh, that tree's pretty. I'll take a picture on my phone. Oh, that food. I'm really bad for food pictures. I love it. I take pictures of everything. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, from my experiences in the photo shoots, I was like, would always just see things and I'd be like, I would do this differently. Like, I would do that differently. And like, eventually, I was just like, you know what? I want to do it myself. So I
Mm-hmm.
did buy myself a camera. I think when
Mm-hmm.
I was like 20. And
Do you
then
remember what camera it was?
my first camera was a Canon Rebel T3i, and it
Okay.
was just a basic camera. Like I think it had like a little crop sensor. It was like really basic, but it was a really good deal. I remember I went to Best Buy, and like I was supposed to go to Maine that weekend for Black Friday, but then I went to Best Buy one day and they had this deal for like $700, and it came with the camera and three lenses and a bag, and I was like, well, I can't pass this up, and I was like, I'm not going to Maine. I'm not going to Maine. I'm gonna get this camera, and that's what I did. And then I kept it for like a year and didn't touch it because I was too afraid of it.
What do you mean by you spent all this money and you just kept? What's your cat's name?
This is Holly. This is
Oh, hello, Holly.
Holly. Yeah, she is actually turning 16 or no, 17 this month.
Holy
My baby.
smokes!
But she's still a kitten. And she loves the camera.
17 is too old to be a kitten, man.
She's a kitten. She's a baby. All of my
Okay.
animals will be two forever.
Okay, you spent all that money on this camera, you just kept it in his box?
Yeah, I was like afraid of it. Like I remember taking pictures and being like, wow, look what I bought. And then I was like, I'm gonna take pictures and they're gonna be really bad, so I won't be able to do anything with it. And at the time, well, I shouldn't say at the time. I feel like no, at the time for sure. I feel like the Halifax community was very, very, very cliquey with the photography world. Like if you were friends with this photographer, you could not be friends with that photographer. If you were affiliated with this
What?
photographer, like one photographer wouldn't want to work with models that have worked with the other photographer. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't want to be.
This
I was
is
like, I don't want to be
like
put in
high
positions.
school.
No, it's
Sorry.
worse. I swear to God, it's worse than high school. It's worse because it's online and everybody has this online presence, and then they're like godly or like amazing or whatever. So then I was like, okay, well, I can't start posting these awful pictures in these groups where I'm going to be judged hella hard because anytime that a model turned into a photographer was like a very cliche thing in the biz, and they're like, oh, another one of those, another one of those. Like, I didn't want to be one of those. No, that's literally how it is. Like, I did not want to be one of those. So I was too afraid. And then eventually, like, I would say, like, literally, like, a year after I got my camera, I started taking pictures with it. They were not
What
great
changed?
pictures. What changed? I was just tired. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to post the pictures. I was like, I don't have to do anything. Like, if people don't like it, like, screw it. I feel like the older I get, like, the fucks just drop off. You know, like,
You
I
know
just
what?
get less fucks.
That is very, very true. Like like it's true as you age. I think that's one of those things that like you might not pick some things up, but as you age, it's like, man, you understand that people are like always going to talk shit, and people are always going to like what you do, and you just focus on the people like what you do, and you forget about the people that talk shit. Because man, people are going to like people who talk shit about
No matter what. No
anything, no
matter
matter how good
what.
it is.
Like you're doing good. Oh, wonder what she's doing. You're doing bad. Oh yeah, totally expected that. You know what I mean? Like everything, everything. You can't win with anybody. It's so annoying.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what photos would you take? Photos of people or yourself?
I do both. I do a lot of self
No, no, no.
photography, but
Like when after the 1 year of keeping your camera on the side, when you
oh,
started
like
taking photos.
oh, my pets, my cats, they were my guinea pigs. And I swear Holly hated me because I would try to do like all these seasonal things. I'd be like, oh, we need to do Christmas photos. So we all need to wear the same Christmas sweaters. I would try to get them. Oh, buddy, it was not good. It was not good. But it was a lot of fun. We had some Halloween ones where I got her like a little like it was like a baby onesie from the dollar store. And I squeezed her in. Oh my gosh, the photos. She
Yeah.
like you. It's surprising that I'm alive today. Like, but so worth it. Yeah, they were my guinea
Yeah.
pigs for life. I still
You know what? It is. I know you might think, or actually people watching or listening might think that it's easy to take photos of pets, because it's just pets, but it's a lot of work. Like working with animals is a lot of work. Like I'll never do that unless you pay me a ton of money, and then we'll have the right people on the set. But like
Yeah.
I would not do that. And kids, no.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing though, is I always bring that expectation of like, you know what? Your kid is going to be your kid. I can't make them happy in the photo if they're not going to be happy. I'm happy to shoot whatever mood they're in. But that's the same with an animal. You expect two chihuahuas to sit down and I'll be like, smile, and they're going to do that? No, they're running around. Do you know how many pictures I had to take to get that one picture of both of them looking? Probably 1,000. Probably. Probably.
Yeah.
And that was with a lot of bribery. A lot. So I even tell that with people with kids. I'm like, you know what? Bring those Timbits if you need to. If they don't eat sugar, you need to give them something. But other than that, like, I'm happy to let the kids do what they want to do because that'll make them happy. If it makes them
Yeah.
not scream, we're good. We're great.
Yeah, yeah. My thing is actually to be frank, I just made a film. So yeah, but that was the first time I worked with a kid, and my trick was really simple. I cast the mom and the kid's godmom in the film, so the kid was
Nice.
around people she knew. So it's like I was like she's like it's almost like she's at home, so I don't have to worry about stuff. And we like had like a fake doll for most of the shoot, and we just had the baby when I wanted to see the baby. Other than that, the baby was with the nanny. Like, get away from my set! I don't want you. Yeah, I don't. Oh man, kids are.
Oh, gosh.
Eh.
No, but you made your own movie. That's so cool. That is super cool.
Yeah, yeah. So you take pictures of your pets when you like. Okay, okay. I'll start shooting people now.
Yeah, well, my boyfriend at the time was definitely my guinea pig. I would just take him a lot of places and like play with settings. But I was also very fortunate too because I was in the model community, so I built a lot of friendships with photographers. So like sometimes like I would go and like assist their shoots, and sometimes and just like watch
Oh.
what they're doing. Now, like they always got a benefit out of me being there too because I would always help pose people and I'd be like, okay, like I'll like get rid of the flyaway hairs, things like that. So like I wouldn't just come and like do nothing and just stare at the photographer and be like, tell me what you do. Because a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
want, like,
Here's
I
one
found,
question. Here's one question for you, though. Sorry. Here's one question for you. I was just thinking. You mentioned that they had this click. Like,
Mhm.
did that filter into the people you could work on their sets or like when they're shooting?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Absolutely. Like, I'm not naming any names. I'm not
Yeah,
naming
sure. No,
any
that's
names.
all good. Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
if photographer A worked with makeup artist A and makeup artist A worked with photographer B, no, the world would end. The world would be over because then
You know
now
what?
the
I swear to
photographer
God,
B
this
would
is a
play
TV
makeup artist
show.
A.
Like,
No, like it was so bad. Like, and you know what? I actually ended up getting kicked out of like one of the photography groups because whatever, because photographer A ran it. but but literally that's how it was. And like I wish I could scroll back to these freaking like 2012, 2013 posts. Like I wish I could see the drama. Like it was literally like freaking Degrassi for photographers. I'm not even kidding.
it's a TV show. Like, why is someone making this series, man? It's like a great
Yeah.
web series, and the premise is like there are these three houses, but
Mhm.
photographers, and like they are just
Yeah.
being little
But it's
divas.
crazy because
Anyway, anyway,
I find that it's much better now as time goes on. But like
that's what I
even
was
just
gonna
this was all
ask.
like within 10 years, right? So like crazy. Crazy.
What do you think? Like, was it the age thing? Like, did people just get older and it's like it got better as they
Mature?
aged, or what? Yeah.
Um, you know what? I would say yes and no. I'm so sorry about my cat. I would say yes and no. Like as I was aging, I was seeing it in a different way. So, but I would also like exclude myself from that. Like I didn't like clickiness. I always try to stay out of drama. I would never like talk bad about like one photographer to another photographer. Like I didn't like that stuff. But like I just wanted to go in and like do my thing and like make some art. But a lot of people would want to make art and like drama too. So,
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
mean, it's all fun, but like, I'd rather just the work for that
Right,
portion.
right.
Yeah.
So you'd shoot your boyfriend at the
Hmm.
time, and
Yeah.
then your confidence grew.
Yeah, a little bit.
What was the
Yep.
next step in your evolution?
Like as it went, like as I moved on from my boyfriend, I would make my friends come over and pose in front of like give me some like lighting tests because that I went through so many different stages where I was like, this is the most important thing. Like lighting is the most important thing, and then I would like try to like perfect everything, and then I'd be like, oh, you know what? No, lighting is the most important thing because I can fix that in post. Like this is the most important thing, and then I would spend like 4 hours on a photo, and like I was just like I was so anal about everything. I wanted it to be perfect, even though I knew nobody else would see it perfectly and I wouldn't see it as perfect. But as
Mm-hmm.
I went, I would just start taking pictures of my friends, and then I knew other models in the community that I could be like, hey, like I know that these pictures aren't going to be good, but I know that you know how to pose, so can you please just like come and like sit here? And then they would do that, and it was really nice, and it helped me grow. And eventually I just kind of got into a rhythm, and I accepted the fact that, you know what, like not every picture needs to look like Vogue picture, like a Vogue magazine. Like it doesn't have to do that. And like not every
Mm-hmm.
picture has to look like a model, like literally like as a model. Like it could be anything that you wanted it to be. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when I
Mm-hmm.
started being like, you know what, it doesn't matter what I shoot because as long as I'm having fun doing it, basically. Yeah.
That is very, very, very true.
Hmm.
Um, but like, was this all with the Rebel T3i?
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
cheap little,
And
yeah, cheap little camera.
and then you'd shoot your friends, build your
Hmm.
confidence. Like by that time when you started, did you also start editing photos, or was just like what you see is what you get?
Oh no, it always came with editing. Like editing is like because what you see in the back of a camera, like if you take a picture in the back of a camera, I could show a client and it could like be completely like dark. It could be like you might not even see your faces in it, but like it's all about the editing process and what you can bring out of like the files and everything and how you want to make it. So it's all about the editing.
So I'm guessing that means you always shoot raw.
I always shoot raw. Yeah. Yeah.
How many hard drives do you have?
Oh my God. Okay. So I have like a huge. Okay. So this is actually devastating because 2 years ago, I had. This is where my lesson learned because I had like a single terabyte that I'd bring everywhere that I would never eject after import ever. So then I actually lost like probably like 2 years worth of work because I treated it like crap and I didn't understand backups need backups even though I heard time and time again that backups need backups. And I swear to God, like I thought I was gonna die. And I was like, you know what? Pain is fine. Then I got like another terabyte and another terabyte and backup, backup, backup. And then I have like a desktop that I literally have just to have like a desktop like hard drive for like a million. Like it's insane. Like I have too much space.
What is your do you have a process for how you name your photos and your folders?
Oh, I'm really okay. You know what? I don't have my hard drive right now plugged into this, but I will tell you, I list everything so meticulously so I can find it. I have a file for 2021. I have a file for January, February, March, April. If I shoot on March 13th, I have a file for March 13th. If I have even have one shoot, I have the client's name and then I have the go into the file and I'll have unedited, edited, proofs, good, because that's for me sorting. And then that way I can always go in and find the file. So yes, I do it way too particular, but it makes it easy for me. I need that. I need that process.
I think anyone that works with a lot of file needs that
Mhm.
process, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you a story, and like I back up things because I lost stuff, but my mistake is I don't name the hard drive. Like I name the hard drive once I plug it in, but then
Mhm.
all these hard drives all look alike, right? So
Yep.
one thing I just got was like a like a label maker. That thing saved my life, right? Because I'd have five black hard drives. I'm like, oh, which one is the one? And then I have to check. So
Yeah,
now, I just look at the hard drive. I know this is what this is, and blah blah
yeah,
blah and stuff like
yeah.
that. And like, yeah. Especially if you're shooting raw, man. You have to know where your files are. You
Hmm.
have to know where your files
Yeah.
are. Cause like, another thing, especially if you did for someone and they paid,
Hmm.
sometimes if I don't know, whatever what the contract you'd have with them is, but sometimes people
Hmm.
like have this entitled thing. You shot them 4 years ago. They'll be like, that
Hmm.
photo I took in 2000 and blah blah. Can you help me find it? What? I mean, I can find it, but
I
like, really
know.
now?
Yeah.
Do you
And you
ever
know
get
what?
such situations?
A lot of photographers will charge like an archive fee. They're like, you know what? I have to dig out my hard drives. Like, I'm not gonna do that for free because there's so much trouble because there's literally so much. And like you said, like if things aren't labeled, it's actually gonna take you like some time to find it because it's from that far ago. Like, and then like re-getting it. No, 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 no. But
So, and then your system is like Mac or Windows.
oh yeah, I use a MacBook now. I always use PC, but now I have a MacBook and
What led
honestly,
to the change?
um I wanted something without any viruses and something super new because all of my computers were like really old. But this is like the first thing that I would say that this is like the best investment that I made for myself, honestly, was this MacBook because I just got it last year and it's so fast because
Is it one
before,
of those with that line that can be like play now and then
yes.
search
Like you can
later?
pause, you can like it has like the
Yeah,
taskbar up top. Oh my God,
yeah.
it's amazing. And I even learned that you can FaceTime your friends and have music in the background and your friends won't hear the music.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So like I
Although
just
I,
learned that, so it's like sweet.
yeah,
So now
although
I
I
can have
don't
both.
use what's it called? I don't have an iPhone. Like I've never had one. I'll
Hmm.
never have one. So
Hmm. Yeah.
so let's get back to it. At what point, you're taking your friends, you're like, okay, maybe there's something here, and like I'm
Hmm.
gonna have people start paying for this
Well,
service.
this is the thing though, is like it always starts off when people see that you post pictures and they message you and they'll be like, "Oh, I would love if you practiced on me sometime." People do that all the time. And to this day, people will message me and be like, "Hey, do you need to take any practice shots? Do you need like a model? Like if you need anybody like just for something, like let me know." I'm like, "All right, I will." Like, and you know what? I actually do have a list for people that I would like to work with, but like on my free time. But like to this day, people always want free pictures. They're like, you
I
know
mean,
what?
you have
Yeah,
that
this is
thing on your Instagram, not CFP at the moment.
and I still get them. And I still get them. And people are like,
People don't read. People
no.
don't
But
read.
you know what? People in not the community, they might not know what TFP means. But like, I also don't want to put like no free pics at the top because I know that sounds like really aggressive, and I don't mean it that way. I just don't want to be aggressive, but like, mm, yeah, a lot of people think that they can get pictures for free because they're pretty, but there's a lot of pretty people, and there's a lot of people like like there's you can take pictures of anybody, like anything. So like, I mean, thank you for the offer. I mean, it's great. I would love to work with you, but not at this time.
So, like, yeah. How did you have people offering, oh, take my photos for free, but what time did you like? What led you to start charging people? Like, at what point did you get to agree with yourself that you're gonna actually have people pay for you taking their
Because
photos?
at that point, so many like people like with families or people with their boyfriend, they would be like, "Oh, like I really want pictures with my boyfriend," and then like I always had a hard time saying no to people, and I'd be like, "Yeah, of course, like of course I could use this like experience, like yes, of course I could do this," and that, but it came to a point like where people would do it like so frequently that I'd be like, I had a hard time saying no, but I'd also be like, I can't spend all this time, so then it's so hard because it's all about perspective again, like where I felt like I wasn't good enough to charge yet when all these other photographers in my area, they did such beautiful work. Like why would somebody pay me that measly $50, whatever it was, to like come take some pictures like when they could go get like real pictures from other photographers. So I just didn't understand it, and I had a hard time going through that. And you know what, even still with pricing now, like I have a hard time with that, because like I feel like I don't want people to feel like they can't get photos from me, but also I can't do it all the time. You know what I mean? I can't do it for free. Like
Yeah.
I can't pay my bills with exposure. I can't pay my bills. I can't, like, my puppy's gotta eat, you know? How am I supposed
Yeah,
to get my
no,
dog
I
some
can't
food?
do it. So my approach is this, right? I like, okay, so I'm gonna come from the film background. Say I want to make a music video. I only make a music video for a song I totally love and like somebody I can totally stand. So all the music videos I make of my friends that I actually love this, like they might have made 50 songs, but there's this one song I fucking love that song, and I just want to make like something like there's an essence to that song I want to make the story for. So it's almost like whatever it pays me is like he's doing me a favor, right? Like I would make that film any day. Like
Yeah.
I'd put in my money to make that
Hmm.
film any day. So whatever it's paying me is kind of like, oh fuck, this is cool.
Doesn't matter because you want to do it.
But now if someone is like, oh come on make my video, I'm like, fuck, I don't fucking like that song. Or it's okay, I'll make it. Then I'll be like, I'll give you like some outrageous amount, and okay, if you pay me that, then cool, I'll make it. So that's it. So like I will
Yeah.
work for money, but I
Yeah.
will have fun with my friends.
Exactly. Exactly. And I completely get that. And that's the thing too, is like, sorry, I'm blanking right now.
No, it's cool. Like I find out when it comes to creatives like yourself, talking about money is so difficult. And that's something like I wanna ask next. Like why? What like you need to pay rent, your cat needs her food, you know.
Yeah.
Like why is it so
Exactly.
difficult for some creatives to talk about money?
I don't know, just because I feel like for me, I think it's all about like worth. Like, what if I charge a certain price and people are like, oh, like it's not worth that? But at the same time, like, you get that all the time, but there's always going to be value to somebody. You know what I mean? And like those would be my clients. But I always like clients to come in with realistic expectations. And I always like clients to come in and like see my profiles beforehand so they know what they're going to get. I don't want them coming in thinking that they're going to get Mozart and then think that they get like a freaking stick figure. You know what I mean? Like I
I
want
know
them to
what you
have
mean.
realistic
I know what you
expectations.
mean.
But so far, I haven't had any like huge complaints about anything, thank goodness. But
Exactly.
I still worry about it for some reason. I don't know why. It's just like your inner self is like, no. But
Okay, here's another one though. I don't know if you've heard of this NFT thing. So
mhm,
if you haven't, NFT is essentially like like a digital photo, but
mhm,
because of how it's made, it's supposed to be just this one, but
mhm,
it's like a photo or whatever, and
mhm.
people are paying millions and millions of dollars, and my conclusion is that value is just super subjective, man. Like
It
to
is. It's so
you
subjective.
that thing might
Mhm,
be worth $1, but to
mhm.
this person is like millions and millions of dollars. So so the key is to say, okay, how much time am I spending on this thing?
Mhm,
You know, I'm spending whatever 2 hours, right? But
mhm,
that's not what you're spending though, because you spent 2 hours shooting this person. You still have
mhm,
to drive home, or wherever you
mhm.
were shooting. You still have to take the thing out, download the
Yeah,
photos, go through each one. If you took thousands and thousands of pictures, you're going through each one. You select it. So by the
yeah.
time you're done, we're talking like 10 hours, right?
I know, yeah.
I'm not
And
gonna
a lot
feel
of
bad
people
if I'm
don't
like,
realize
hell,
that.
man. Yeah, so by the time I give you this one photo,
Mhm.
I've spent 10 hours on that one photos, but the real time I've actually spent on that photo is all the times I've been trying to learn to take pictures. Like every picture I've taken has led me to make this one photo for you. Fuck you, pay me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like it builds you up into what you get now. So
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
so that's what you're paying for is, and that's the thing too, is like you're getting to pay to hang out with me. So come on.
Right, right,
Right?
right, right.
Like,
Okay,
oh
so
my
do
goodness.
you like shoot in a studio, or do you like where do you shoot your photos?
I generally, well, I have a house, so I generally shoot from home. I have like, I wouldn't say a home studio, but I am fortunate enough to make whatever I want because I have the ability to like have lighting and I have backdrops, I have things so I can shoot from home. But I also have one room dedicated to my death garden, which is for all the plants that I murdered.
Like what
Um,
the fuck is
So,
that?
yeah, so they're all the plants that I murdered because eventually I don't know why they just started to accumulate because I had like a spare room and then I would never like want to throw them out. I don't know why. So then I would just put them in the spare room with like all my boxes and I was like, you know what? I might do something with them someday. And you know what? Now I did because now I have a beautiful collection of dead plants. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
they
it's
got it.
beautiful in its own way. And now I have nice
Yeah.
Victorian couches in there, and yeah, I just go in there, and that's where I smoke, and that's where I work, and it's great. Yeah. Mhm.
So do you? Okay, so you shoot out your space and then
Mhm.
edit the
But I also go
photos.
out on location all the time. Like I love location. Like I love natural light. Like that's my favorite. Like capturing things in the actual moment. Like I love that. Like I love that. It's
Do
my
you
favorite.
ever do weddings?
I have done weddings. I've assisted weddings, but this year, well, last year was actually supposed to be my first solo wedding, but COVID, of
COVID.
course, COVID. Thank you. So I was hoping to be able to offer it by now, but I have two this coming summer, so I'm really excited, and I have a second photographer coming along with me. So
Yeah,
I I'm
it's
not,
crazy.
it's weird because as nervous as I am,
Yeah.
I'm not. Like, I know that no matter what, like, because I've worked with these people before, like, we're gonna get some good stuff. My big thing is like, oh my gosh, Malia, like, what if you don't get that first kiss? So, like, I always tell them, I'm like, I want you guys to really love each other and hold that kiss for like at least 5 seconds, please. That would be great. Just because, like, I'm so scared. Like, what if I take the picture and, like, it's great, but it's not in focus when I get home? You know what I mean? So that's my big thought. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Like, you have to get it, but so far, so good. So far, so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Weddings. Yeah. It was shocking to me because I don't know anything about weddings or planning them. But it was shocking to me to find out people book weddings like 2 years out.
Yeah.
And I guess the shock for me is that, not that I wish anyone ill or whatever, but like 2 years is a fucking long time. Like someone might die, someone might
And
break up, someone might find someone else. Like 2 years is a long time.
mhm.
6 months maybe, but 2 years, like there's so much that can happen in a
And you know
week.
what?
Yeah.
Guilty. Because that happened to me. That
What
happened
happened
to
to you?
me. So I was with my boyfriend, my guinea pig boyfriend at the time. He's
Yeah.
not an actual guinea pig, the one that I took pictures of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Basically, we were together for 5 years and we went on vacation and we always talked about doing like a 420 wedding because like we liked the date. Now, I'm going to say this straight up. Like I was never one to have a big dream about a big wedding or anything because to me, it's a waste of money for a piece of paper. Not kicking anybody for it, not kicking anybody for it because it is a beautiful moment. But for me, like I couldn't spend so much money on a day. That's like not even, I don't know. Like to me,
Yeah.
it would have to be a vacation. So we
Yeah.
got engaged on 420 of 2018, planning to get married on 420 of 2020. So that's why I wanted that date because I wanted it all to like go. So exactly two, like he proposed exactly 2 years from the date that we wanted to get married. So it was super sweet, but again, 2 years is a very long time.
Super long.
Very long time. And needless to say, the COVID wedding did not end up happening.
Yeah,
So,
well, because of COVID, so you moved
yep,
it
yep,
forward.
yep. So there were a few mental breakdowns and things like that. But now we are not together. So in a way, it's a blessing in
Oh,
disguise.
so it's not up. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like, but really, that's my thing though. Like
Yes.
2 years is a fucking
But
long time. How do
imagine,
you guys do
but
this
that's the way
thing?
that I
But
see it
like,
is because like we
but
would have
like,
been married, we would have been together for 8 years, basically exactly 8 years, and we got engaged at 5 years. So in that time frame, like a lot can change. So if we got married when he proposed, well then would that have been a 2-year marriage and then a divorce under my belt, like at that age? Like I can't even imagine. Like I can't even imagine. Not kicking anybody that happens to, but like that's just not the way that I saw my life going. And
No, no. So I'm gonna put it in context here.
mhm,
Like, I know a lot of people plan weddings and
mhm,
like 2 years out, 5 years out, and it works, and they stay
mhm,
married forever. But
mhm.
like, I mean, let's just take last year, 2020. Like, usually, so in film, usually like February, you're getting ready for the festivals and you're getting ready to travel to Berlin and Cannes, and poof,
Yeah,
everything just shut down. Like
I
all
know.
these plans you've planned months and months ahead. Like,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with planning. Like, I plan,
No,
I plan a lot. Like, I'm a
yeah,
planner.
but look what happens
But
when you
like,
do.
I think when it comes to emotional things,
Mhm.
like, should be, take some time, because like, yourself, right? You
Mhm.
never ever know everyone 100%. No one's going
Yeah,
to tell you everything. and,
yeah.
and then uh, anyway, but another one that gets to me, like,
Mhm.
say we are getting married, but we are going to get married down south, and now
Mhm.
all our fucking friends have to fly down south to,
I
what
know, and
about, what the fuck?
that's what I did. I was that person.
I'm
Because
sorry, I don't mean to call you
no,
out, but
no, no, it's so true though, because I agree with you. Like, I fully agree. Because again, I was like, I could not spend all that money on one day. So I wanted to have a location wedding because I was like, you know what? If I'm going to spend the money, it's going to be a
yeah,
vacation. So I
yeah.
actually planned a Vegas wedding. So I was going to have a 4 day in
Oh,
Vegas.
nice, nice,
But
nice. Wait, were you gonna do like the church, like, like the
not
Vegas
not the
wedding?
chapel, because
Oh,
like
okay.
I'm not a godly person and not a religious person, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like that's not my thing.
yeah.
But I liked it because I'm not a planner. Like, well, I am a planner, but I would also be a complete bridezilla if I had to have my own wedding. So I was like, if we go to Vegas, it'll be perfect because everything's online. So literally, like I went online. I was supposed to get married at Mandalay Bay. Beautiful location, beautiful. Highly
Nice,
recommend. But
nice,
if you're not a
nice.
planner, I say go on because they ask you what music would you like, which order of the songs, and they give you a drop down list of all the songs. And then
Oh,
they're like,
nice.
what flowers do you want? And you click. What cake do you want? Click. What
Holy
time do you want?
shit,
Click.
that is
So
so
then that's
nice.
so that's literally what it was. And then my wedding was
Yeah,
like just done. And then I was like, okay, I don't have stress about it. This is how much it costs. Here's your money. Good.
right.
No bridezilla today. Yeah.
Oh,
But
that is nice. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done talking about. I'm married though, so like, let me see. How did, you know what? I think, this is how I got married, right? I was
mhm,
like, we've been engaged forever,
mhm.
and then we actually just moved to Canada. I'm like, so let's get married. And like, from that time I said that till when we got married, it was like, I swear to God, maybe 2 weeks. Like,
And
I'm like,
honestly
okay, let's just
though,
do it. Yeah, it was just like boom, boom, and like, like, I just knew, okay, I wanna, like, this is what I want to do. The only thing is, like, she was particular about like the dress she wanted to wear. Other than that, and the shoes she wanted to wear. Other than
yeah.
that, it's like I'm so lazy, and
Okay.
I like keeping my life super simple.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't tell my friends, hey, let's fly to Jamaica for like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
no. Anyway,
But
back
the
to
thing is
photography.
though, is like I know those things seem small, like about the dress, the shoes, because you know what, your wedding moment might last for about like 5 minutes, like the ceremony, whatever, but your pictures are gonna last forever.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
your pictures are gonna last forever. So even
yeah,
if it's in that moment, you know what, that pic, make those shoes great, make it what you
yeah,
want to wear, do
yeah,
whatever you want, girl, get
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay, okay. So boudoir,
Hmm.
boudoir. Let's talk about that. When you were doing modeling, did you do any of that? And well, let's start with that. Did you do any of that?
I did. I kind of worked myself into it though. I
What do you mean
started
by
my,
walk yourself into it?
well, I mean, I just had to get myself comfortable working with another
Oh,
photographer
oh,
type
oh,
deal,
gotcha.
to make myself comfortable in front of the camera, basically. Because like as good as I felt in the moment, like sometimes I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I had to get myself ready for it because it's super nerve wracking. Like I do boudoir, and some clients I have never done it before. So I mean, imagine going over to a stranger's house
Mm,
and undressing and having me point a camera at you. Like that's a nerve-wracking thing. Like you've never met me before
mm,
and you're asking me to take very intimate pictures when you're in a vulnerable position. So I
mm,
mean, like it's a very nerve-wracking thing and that's why I do it myself because it is.
mhm,
It definitely is. So I strive to make my clients feel as comfortable as possible, but
mm,
I know the position that it is and I work myself into it and but that was because I was modeling at the time, so I had to like I shouldn't say I had to, but I wanted to broaden my spectrum, I guess, and
mhm,
it made me feel good. So that's pretty much why. So I kind of started with like glamour photography, which is very like big makeup, big hair, like all of the all of the lights, like stuff like that, and then eventually kind of like worked myself into boudoir a little bit, and I loved it.
mm.
Loved it. Always
Oh,
have.
okay. No, that's great. So, ooh, um, so what? I guess you were in front of the camera for boudoir, now behind the camera for others. So, say a client, I see your Instagram, like, oh my god, I want to take these photos. What happens from then till when I get my photos?
So basically, if somebody messages me wanting the boudoir photos, I explain the entire process of basically like what to expect.
Mm,
Like if people want to message me asking like what to wear, things like that. Like I explain the entire process. I
mm-hmm,
want people to feel as comfortable as possible. I always let them know that they're always allowed to bring a female participant with them just for confidence. But a lot of people like they get more nervous that way too. So it's completely up to them. I always try to like set the mood. Like I always have incense going, I have music going. I always ask them what kind of music they want. And so the shoot, I always try to make them as relaxed and comfortable as possible. When I pose the clients, I literally put myself in the pose too. I will get on the floor, lay down, tell them exactly what they should do, things like that, and give them direction because I want them to feel like they know what's going on every step of the way. And
mm-hmm,
then I always follow up with the clients and it's always I feel like a really good experience. I haven't had a bad boudoir experience yet, so thank goodness. Yeah.
um, and then from the day of the shoot, how long before I get my photos?
I always like to say 2 weeks. I always like to
Okay.
give myself 2 weeks. A lot of times it could be sooner,
Mm,
but I never want to promise somebody something like, oh, you know what, you'll have your photos in like 4 days because anything can happen in 4 days. So then if
mm-hmm,
I have it in my contract saying you're going to get it in 4 days and then I get COVID or something, you know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? And then I don't
mm-hmm,
want the client coming at me being like, you know what? I want my pictures. I don't care that you have COVID. So
mm-hmm.
I just like to give myself a little space. That way it can be done and I'm comfortable with that. And I'm comfortable with 2 weeks. And a lot of photographers need longer because they have other things going on. Might have more shoots. They might have more details. You know what? Every photographer is different. So yeah, that.
Yeah. Um, so like with payment, do they pay all up front, some up front, everything when it's done?
Yeah. I always ask for a deposit now. Usually just a low amount, but it depends on the price of the shoot too. But I always ask for a deposit because there's been so many times in the beginning, especially when I was trying out, when people would ask me to take their photos and I wouldn't even charge and I would get no showed. Literally, like I would show up to the location. I would take the time planning with that person, discussing what they want, drive to the location only for them to not be there. Absolutely not. And that has happened far too many times. Far too many
So
times. Or
what do you
people
think would be some of the reasons why people wouldn't show up for their shoots?
Well, some of the reasons is they feel like it's not that important or something. And at the time, I feel like I don't want to offend anybody, but I feel like they just don't value your time or
Mm-hmm,
something to even send you a message to be like, you know what, I'm not going to make it. Like, even if
mm-hmm,
that's something, even if it's a free shoot, something like that, like, I find it incredibly disrespectful to not just even send a note. And
mm-hmm,
to me, like, if I'm just taking the time out of my day, if I'm willing to take these photos for you and
mm-hmm.
like work with you, like at least have the decency to show up. And if you
Yeah.
can't, let me know that you can't. So that has happened so many times where people would show up, 15, 20 minutes, half hour late. And that's me waiting around
Yeah.
for you. And that has happened
Yeah.
too. So
That
I
is
always
just rude. That is just rude.
I think so too, but you know what? If there's an emergency or something, I'll I totally understand, but if you can
But that
set,
is if they let you know, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I think it's just like life happens, right?
life
But
happens.
if you
Yeah.
don't tell
Mhm.
me, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna know. So
Yeah. Exactly. But other than that, like ever since I've put deposits, let them know like their time, they have X amount of time before that I'll wait because I've waited up to like 45 minutes for a client once. And that was at that moment I was like, I can't do this. Like, no. So
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, for sure. I always say
yeah,
deposits all the way just to guarantee your time because no matter what, even if your deposit is like 20 bucks, that's going to pay for your gas to get to that location and back. So
yeah.
good, good. Yeah.
No, that is super approach to do it. So now, then the let's talk about Instagram. Like your engagement is nuts.
Do
If
you
you
think
have
my
such
engagement's nice?
engagement, yeah. Like it's
Really?
crazy. It's like super engaged on your Instagram. If you have that engagement, one, like how did you build it? And two, why do you still doubt like your work is as good as it is?
I don't see that because to me, I like never post on Instagram. It's actually really bad because 90% of what I shoot is generally like families and stuff and I don't know why, like I just feel like it's like I forget to post or I don't think about it or like I'll think about the caption for too long or like something. I don't know. Like I'm so in my head about every little thing and I know that it's not okay, but I feel like I don't post nearly enough as I want to. But whenever I do post stories and put polls and stuff, I do always get responses and I do generally get like a good amount of responses. So maybe I should do more, but
Do
I don't know.
more.
I know. So I can't tell you that I have a strategy because I don't, and like I don't have like an aesthetic on my page. Like I don't know. I shoot how I want to shoot, how I feel. I edit the way that I want to feel in the moment, and how I think like if something's moody. But just because like there's a certain preset or one picture looks like this, like you know what I mean. Like I don't want like I want to shoot how I feel. I don't want everything to look the same because I just can't do that. But
Yeah,
if a
that's
client,
not who you are.
yeah, but
Um,
if a client asks for something specific in one certain style, absolutely, absolutely, I can do that for you.
okay. No, that's great. Talking about your Instagram, you have this new giveaway going on.
Hmm.
Do you want to talk a bit about it?
Yeah,
The
so I have a
420 theme shoot.
yeah,
420, that's your thing.
yes, it is. It definitely is now. And like I see a lot of like boudoir, I see like a lot of like stuff like that. But you know what? Like I personally love to smoke weed and I happen to love boudoir and I think that they're both beautiful together. And I haven't seen a space that offers both. And now in my death garden, I do offer that. But obviously I don't promote smoking if you're not a smoker. You can definitely still come shoot with me. Like if you're not comfortable with boudoir but you love the death garden, absolutely come. I'll shoot you, no problem. But the giveaway, I just wanted to make it like put it out there that it is 420 friendly in case I get that one specific client that's like, oh, for sure, like that's my jam too. And I have had quite a few of those, so it's great. But the giveaway right now is for a free shoot with me, and then we're gonna hang out too, because if you're gonna end up smoking, I'm gonna have munchies and I'm not gonna let you drive home immediately after because nope. So we'll hang out, we'll go through the photos together, have some snacks. We'll probably have smoke too, lol. And yeah, and then we'll just go through it, and then you can be on your merry way, and I'll send you your proofs, and you'll
And
get a
the
beautiful
ashtray
ashtray from.
with the resin.
Yes, I don't know how to say the name.
Ah, me
Ask.
too.
Okay, okay. Like I love her. Her name is Justice. She's an amazing girl. She does amazing work. But I think it's athlete, aesthetic. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, but she does beautiful resin and she can do anything you want. And she made beautiful. I actually have the ashtray. It's a beautiful ashtray, and you can win that, and that's perfect. So even if you don't smoke, maybe give it to a friend, and you win. Give it to a friend that does for
Yeah.
sure.
So and then when do you pick out the winner?
I'm picking out the winner. I think August. It ends August 4th at
Oh my
11:59.
God, it's
So I'll
gonna
pick
be
the
because
winner.
like now it's already at 300 and something. It's gonna be thousands and thousands. So so it's gonna be really random. You just throw all these people into something and then spit it out and
Yeah,
then get the winner.
there's some websites that you can get before it was an app, but there's this website that I can use that will
Yeah.
like literally filter through the comments and filter through the shares, things like that, and like I can literally set it, and like it costs money. It costs like I think like $5 or something, but it's worth it because other than
Yeah.
that, I'm not going to take all these names in a hat and like
Yep.
shuffle them. So no,
Yep.
that is
Yep. Yep.
totally worth
Yep.
the
Yep.
$5 for my time. And you know what? I think my clients are worth it, and I want them to go in, and I want it to be fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm having a great time, but like
Mhm,
I have to round this up though.
mhm,
Um, so you're doing what you love now.
mhm,
Um, and then there's someone out there watching or listening to the show today, and they're
mhm.
like, okay, I want to do this photography thing. What are some things you learned that you wish you learned when you started out?
Oh, for sure. It's one thing is don't be so self-conscious, I suppose, because that was my biggest stop because I was like too scared to even take photos because I thought that they were going to be judged too harshly. So
Mm-hmm.
honestly, take pictures of what you love because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if somebody else doesn't like it because you do. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else might too. So
Mm-hmm.
take pictures of what you love, enjoy the experience, enjoy the ride. Know that not everything you're not going to be able to make or and make it happen for yourself in like 2 seconds. It's a process and you're gonna learn on the way. I'm still learning. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
so much. There's so much and styles change. Like just know that it's a process and understand that and go with it. That's the best advice I can give. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Malia. I think we should do this again. I'm having too much fun.
For sure, yes, it was a lot of fun. I was nervous, but I get it. We're just chilling and we're just chatting. So for sure, let's definitely do it again.